So welcome to some games I've been playing recently, and I've been playing some brand new games on PS5, some brand new Switch games that are ports of older games, and we're going to get to all of that today. And I'll ask you guys, what are you playing right now? Some old games, some new games, or are you trying to catch up on the backlog? We're always trying to do that, and I've been having a lot of fun playing some of these games. Let me know what you're playing down below.
Are you ready?
So I'm going to start with Screamer right here, and I just want to say I had no idea what this game was. I was talking to a friend of mine and he's like, "Hey John, have you played Screamer? It's a brand new racing game." And I'm like, "What is that?" He goes, "I think you'll like it. I think you'll like it." And I'm like, "You know what? Okay." And it's one of those impulse buys where you just go onto Amazon, you're like, buy, and you're like, I don't even know what I'm going to play or what I'm going to get into, but I trust my friend. And it's a racing game, and it's also based on a 1995 game. And it's a remake of that, and I just want to say I have no idea about the 1995 game. I've only played this. And what is this? It's an anime-style racing game with a big storyline going on, with a lot of different characters.
We're here for the tournament.
What the?
What?
It definitely gives me Ridge Racer vibes, but with a kind of like a futuristic cyberpunk look to it. And it also kind of gives me Auto Modelista vibes. Does anybody remember that old Capcom game from back in the day? That kind of had this like anime kind of like aesthetic to it. I thought it looked amazing back then, but nobody ever seems to talk about that game anymore. And so what we have here is a big storyline, all of these different characters, and racing, a lot of racing. And how are the mechanics here? They're good. They take me a little bit to get used to. I'm so used to like drifting in Ridge Racer, but drifting with the control sticks really kind of throws me off, and I'm still getting used to that. But I want to say, I love the speed in this game. I love the visuals. The character designs are not my favorite, I will say that. They aspire to be really great anime designs, and I think they're good. I think they're like a 7 out of 10. I don't think they're terrible. I think they kind of fit this style of game. The voice acting is great.
You know, that was actually kind of fun.
There's a lot of cutscenes in this game, a lot, and they're a little bit grating. Sometimes I just want to kind of play the game and just get into that, but the storyline's continuing there, and it's interesting stuff. I like the music as well, but I'll say this is kind of a fascinating game that I didn't even know existed, and I'm kind of glad I just tried out. I need to play a lot more of it to get used to those drifting style controls, but I think when I get there, I'll have a lot more fun with this game. But right now, it's a pretty interesting racing game, and as I said, where did this come from? Now, this DLC kind of came out of nowhere. They just announced it, and that is for Leon Must Die Forever. And I keep getting it mixed up with Romeo Must Die. I keep getting those two mixed up, but this is a free DLC for anybody who has Resident Evil Requiem. And I was kind of fascinated about it. I'm like, anything to make me go and play Requiem again, I'm all in. And basically what this is, you have one life, you play as Leon, and you're trying to make your way through the levels in the game, and it's kind of a choose your own adventure in that you can pick your different paths, which way you want to go. You pick up different items, different weapons along the way, and you want to get all the way to the end without dying, because if you die, you have to start right at the beginning again. And I've started right at the beginning again many times. But like any roguelike style of game, the more and more you do it, the better you get. Sometimes weapons and items are random, so you don't know quite what you're gonna get. But you can kind of start navigating and mapping the different directions to go, the best way to get through the level. And in my experience, what I figured out with the game is don't fight every zombie. Just kind of rush by them. Do what you need to do to get to the next section of the game. And I've gotten quite near the end. I still need to keep on going, but I'm having a great amount of fun doing it, and I just love this as kind of like a free DLC. I'm sure they'll be working on a big story DLC in the future. I'm all over that. I can't wait for that. I mean, Requiem, as I said, is a 10 out of 10 game for me. I adore it, and so any reason to jump back into the game, I'm all in. Next up is an Ys and Trails game. They both meet together in Ys versus Trails in the Sky Alternative Saga. And you know me in the channel, a lot of people ask me, do you play the Trails games? And we've shown it on the channel so many times. Kim has played the Trails games. We've enjoyed them. We really like the games. But when it comes to the Falcom lore, I'm much more of an Ys guy. And so this is kind of a fascinating game because you can play as a lot of characters from Ys and a lot of characters from the Trails series, and they get to fight each other finally. So we get to finally have a showdown and take each other on. Who is the real winner in the war? I'll tell you this much, we all are, because Trails is great and Ys is great. And how is this game? It's okay. It's all right. I was kind of a little underwhelmed playing it. I was expecting a little bit more, but what's there is kind of fun. And I jumped into arcade mode to begin with, and it just kind of throws you in. Don't start with that. Start with the storyline mode. And that obviously lets you hear about the story, work into the mechanics, figure out what you're doing, and level up.
Oh, that's good.
And that's the great thing here, is that you can go to different levels within the game, fight certain opponents, and when you defeat them, you level up, and you can keep on doing that over and over. So you can just grind certain locations and build your character up. So when you get to a new area, a new character, you can absolutely destroy them. You can also upgrade your character, better weapons, better items.
You win! I wonder if they raise Picards in this land.
So this game started to warm up to me. At first I was kind of lukewarm on it, and then I started to play it, start to grind into it, and I'm like, you know what, there's actually a fun game here. There is, fighting different opponents from the Ys series and from the Trails series, and it has that grind factor, as I say, that I love in the Ys series so very much. And it's action combat going on here, and the levels and characters, they're good. They're good. It's not gonna win any awards. It's not gonna blow you away. But if you're looking for something a little bit different with your favorite Ys characters and favorite Trails characters, this is the way to go. It's a very fascinating concept, and it comes together. It really does, and one that I'm gonna go back to and play a little bit more.
My strength.
You win!
So yes, another Ys game got released. Is it a new Ys game? No, it is Ys Memoire, Revelations in Celceta. And what is this? It's a port of the PS4 game that I reviewed nearly 5 years ago. Well, I'll get into that in a second, which is a port, an upgrade from 2012's Ys Memories of Celceta on the Vita. And what is Ys Memoire, Revelations in Celceta? It is the Switch port, finally. And what can I say about this? Go and watch my PS4 review on the game. I said everything I want to say about the game in there about 5 years ago. What can I say about this Switch version? All of the things that were problems with the PS4 version are still here, in that this is a remaster of a Vita game, and there's a lot of graphical glitches in the game. The shadows don't look particularly right. It's not a particularly lovely game. It's not going to blow you away or win any awards. But what we have here is an Ys game, and it's got great gameplay. We can play up to 3 different characters. You can switch between the different characters because each of the characters has their own abilities, and you can use those on different enemies, having different results.
Leave it to me.
So some characters you want to use Adol for, some characters you want to use other characters for to break their defenses. And the one thing that kind of warmed my heart, which was really funny, and I can't believe this, I got nostalgic about it because I reviewed the PS4 game nearly 5 years ago. It was before my daughter was born, and she's turning 6 soon. So it's really wild to kind of look at that old review, and I was laughing because everything that was there in the PS4 version is back. Like right when the game starts, it doesn't start great because it cuts to the town in Celceta. Basically Adol is waking up, he's lost his memory, and the first thing we basically see is a cat like gliding on the floor, on the ground. It's not really walking, it's like floating over, because the animation's not done well enough to make it look as though it's actually walking on the ground itself. And you're like, oh my God, what is that? That's terrible. And I had the same reaction, and I was laughing to myself. I had got all nostalgic about when I reviewed the PS4 version, that the cat was back, and Adol is back too, and he's just walking in town, and he's just gliding on the ground, and you're like, oh my God, like, just, could you please make the animation, hit with the ground, so it looks like he's actually walking. No, it's the same version as the PS4 version, but we have great music, we got great gameplay. I am going to give Ys Memoire a big push because it's an Ys game. It's an Ys game. Of course I'm going to be pushing it. And it's not a great game in the sense that it's got a lot of graphical problems. But put those aside, you have a great Ys game here. And it's all about the gameplay. And I think for anybody who didn't pick up the PS4 version, there's the new Ys version right here, Ys Memoire, Revelations of Celceta. You can play it on your Switch, and it's great to play in handheld mode. So for me, it's a bit of a win, but it is an older game based on a Vita game with some graphical issues. I have to state those because even when I was playing the Switch version, I was like, man, nothing's been fixed. Nothing's been changed since the PS4 version, and that's nearly 5+ years ago now. Now I'm back again talking about City of the Wolves, and this is the final game that I was playing. But I, again, just want to give a big applaud to the game for all of the additions, and I bought all of the DLC. I couldn't resist to get all of the new characters. Characters like Blue Mary has made a return, first showing up in Road to the Final Victory in Fatal Fury 3. She's back, great to see her. Krauser is back, and I want to talk about him just for a second. I want to talk about an old story that, oh my God, when I think about it, it's got to be like 29 years ago. It's just a weird story. It's just so stupid. I was playing back in the day Fatal Fury Special, and you get to Krauser, and I'll show the City of the Wolves version where he says this line.
I'll chisel your gravestone. Sleep well.
Now that's a very special line for me and my friends, Rob and my friend Satan back then, that I was playing Fatal Fury Special, you get to Krauser, and he'd say it in the game, and it was always funny to me. I'll chisel your gravestone, sleep well. Me and Rob would quote that for so long. We'd always quote that to each other. And I think we still do once in a while. And so I was really hoping that saying would make a return to City of the Wolves, and it has.
Blaze Tomahawk!
Wales!
You are beyond a disgrace.
And I've got one more stupid story. I don't even know why we did this. I don't know why we did this. One night, I got into, this is 29 years ago. 29, nearly 30 years ago. We got into my dad's car late at night, and I think we were just kind of in a very, very funny mood. I don't know, we thought this was funny, and it's the stupidest thing ever. This is before the internet, folks. Before the internet the way it is nowadays. We were bored, and we were driving around, and we had my Ghetto Blast, and we had the tape of Fatal Fury Special in there with all the voices. So if you ever buy the CDs, and Willem Schell, the King of Smut 95, recorded me the Fatal Fury Special soundtrack onto tape, and I got to the place where he'd say, I will chisel your gravestone, sleep well. They'd have all the voices from the game at the end. And I just rewind it, and we'd be driving around the neighborhood. We weren't even near anybody, and we were just blasting it into the night. I will chisel your gravestone, sleep well, really loud. And we thought it was the funniest thing in the world. And it's 29 years later, I look back and it feels like that was from a different world, a different time. Would I ever do something like that now? No, because it's weird, it's strange, but it goes to show how some of these games get into your head and they become part of your zeitgeist, like it's weird. And I'm telling a story, like you couldn't even make that story up because it's so weird. Rob, I'd love to get Rob on to talk about that because I think he'd think that was funny as all heck too. That it's back. that line is back.
I'll chisel your gravestone. Sleep well.
So guys, I will ask you, what have you been playing in the way of video games? Some brand new game, some old game, as I say, something from the backlog. And I hope it is something from the backlog, something you're able to catch up on. It feels so fulfilling when you finally get to do that. You're like, finally, I get to tackle this game that has been haunting me for some of them for like 20 years, right? You can finally get to. Let me know what they are down below. So anyways, guys, until next time.